Hey, Brendan, it's great to be with you. Thanks for jumping on such short notice. Big news today, huh?
Pretty big news for merchants, and today's actually our 60th year celebration here at Fleet headquarters. So pretty good timing on it as well.
Yeah, great. First up, let's just get into from your mouth, I guess. What does this mean for merchants?
Yeah, so for a period of time now, we've been looking at our future, and with our growth, it was really time to bring in the next generation of an ownership group. And we really looked everywhere from companies in Asia Pacific to Europe, the Middle East, across the U.S. And we really said we were looking for somebody that would allow us to grow even faster than we've been growing. And about 2.5 years ago, we brought Bain Capital in as our growth capital partner, along with the Singer family that had owned the company. And I guess you could almost say it's almost like lease to own, huh? They got a chance to know us for a little while, and everything we said we were going to do, we did, and they kind of fell in love even more with the company and have now acquired it, and also brought in the investment partner of theirs, ADIA, the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority.
Right. And actually, can you just get in for the uninitiated, like who actually is Bain Capital, and then a little bit about Abu Dhabi Investment Authority?
Sure. So Bain Capital, they're the sixth largest private investment firm in the world. Interestingly enough, we're headquartered in New Hampshire. They're headquartered in Boston. So we all root for the same sports teams. But that didn't play into us picking them. They've been our partner for 2.5 years. We've gotten to know them really well. And then the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, they're what's known as a sovereign wealth fund. They're one of the largest in the world, and they invest alongside Bain Capital and alongside other private investment firms. And then the third investment group that invested in the company and invested quite a bit is the Merchants Leadership Team. We have 11 people on the leadership team that 10 of them report to me and myself. We actually all invested in and own a significant piece of the company as co-investors. And I think that signals a few things. One, that signals stability to our employees, to our clients, to the industry. It also signals to our co-investors, Bain Capital and ADIA, it signals belief in the company, that we're putting our own dollars into the company and feel confident about its future.
Sure. Does this affect pre-existing agreements or partnerships that merchants has?
The way we did this is really a full acquisition. So, when this closes in the next 4 to 6 weeks, as we go through regulatory and customary parts of any acquisition, we remain Merchants Fleet, a standalone independent company. So there won't be any changes. I just got off a call with all of our employees, where no employee benefits are changing, no job titles are changing, everything is staying the same. Same with our clients. I've been on the phone this morning talking to a lot of our clients, and we'll be through the rest of the day and tomorrow. Now the only change in the future will be, now we'll have access to more growth capital to grow faster, to invest more in technology, to invest more in different asset classes, and to fuel the further expansion and growth of Merchants Fleet.
Sure. And getting into that, I mean, in the press release, you talk about like speeding new service launches, expansion into new markets, tech innovation. I mean, certainly EVs is a part of that, but can you get into a little bit more specific on that direction?
Sure. We're constantly looking at ways we can technology enable our business, ways we can technology enable our clients, as we look at more data-driven, more of our industry being data-driven, as we look at the future of EVs and infrastructure and what that's going to mean to fleet managers, what that's going to mean to technology platforms like our Total View platform. This is going to allow us to accelerate investments in AI and machine learning that we've had queued up. We've already got a number of those in flight. It will allow us to accelerate those, as well as some new service launches. We've started 8 new businesses over the last 5 years, and we've got a few more that we would like to invest in. But up to now, we just haven't had some of the growth capital to fuel that. We've gone from being a 500 million asset company in 2017-18 to a 2.5 billion asset company now. So we've had some good growth. but we're looking for even faster growth as we look to the future.
You teased us with companies that you were going to invest in. Can you give us any bit of direction there that you can release?
It's not necessarily invest in those companies. It's going to be investing in their products and their technologies that we can embed within ours.
Okay.
We don't see going on an acquisition path. When we're growing 40% top line a year, 35 to 40% top line a year, we really don't feel the need to, acquire and merge companies in. I think a lot of times you see that when companies may be struggling or they aren't growing and they're trying to get their growth or kickstart their growth. We're very much an organically driven company. And I don't say that because of our ESG strategy. I just say that because, our organic growth has been very strong over the last number of years.
Sure. We've seen mergers with fleet management companies recently this year. This is a little bit different. Can you tell us how it's different?
Yeah. This is the fifth company I've been at that have been able to kind of usher them into their next phase. And what I find interesting is in the financial world, we talk about M&A, merger and acquisition. And as an operating executive, I've never understood why we call it M&A, because it's really M or A, merge or acquire, because they're two very, very, very different strategies. When you choose to merge, and I've done that before, and sometimes that is what's best for the company. When you bring companies together, you've then got questions like, well, who's going to be the director of data analytics? You got two people, which headquarters, which technology platform. We have client redundancies. What's the name? And again, I've done that a few times, and there's times when you do that. In this case, this is not a merger. This is an acquisition where everybody who's in their role is going to stay in their role. Everyone's 401k match is going to be their 401k match. How we service our clients, our CSRs that are attached to our clients are going to remain their CSRs. Our technology platform isn't going to be getting integrated to another. So there's really no disruption. There's no employees worrying about, am I going to have a job? We know what the name of the company is. We know where our headquarters is at. So in this model, I'd say it's very different than what we've seen in the industry over the last year in particular, but even going back to, the formation of Elements. So very different in that light.
Yeah, sure. EV growth, right? This is on everyone's mind, certainly in fleet. And, just give us some thoughts on how this leverages that and where you think that the penetration is happening first with EV growth in fleets.
Yeah. I'm an engineer by trade. And so math was always my favorite subject. So I know when we made our commitment early into the EV space with our $2.5 billion of commitment, I think people either called us visionary or stupid. And different people had different opinions at that time. And I was okay with both of those. But it's really a math of supply and demand. It's a macroeconomics, it's applied math. And when you really look at where we're headed, there's going to be much more demand than supply. With this growth capital, it's going to allow us to be able to invest more. We're also looking at the infrastructure side of it. There's the EV itself, and then there's the infrastructure side. How can we accelerate infrastructure adoption? What can we do in that space? And so when we look to the future, we'll look at merchants as a fleet technology company. We'll look at merchants as an electrification company, as an ESG company, and really as a player across a broader spectrum and a broader industry.
Just a couple more quick questions. Any thoughts on the vehicle supply crisis and maybe how this maybe helps that, or just the crisis in general that the industry is facing?
Yeah, I'd like to say us getting acquired is going to wipe away the supply chain issues, but it's not. The supply chain issues, I think that's been the biggest challenge in our industry. When I look at over the past couple of years, we got hit with COVID, society's biggest challenge, hopefully in our lifetimes, our kids' lifetime. Then as we're coming out of that, or maybe not out of it, we get hit with supply chain. And I remember when supply chain started, it was a microchip issue, and it's really grown into a complete supply chain. It's not just about microchips. It's about foam for the seats. It's about rubber for the tires. It's everything. It's about the OEMs relooking at their business models, at allocation models. And I think we're seeing lots of change in from the OEMs. So, I see that challenge being with us for the next, 18, 24 months. I don't think this is something that's just going to, fix itself shortly. But, myself, just like our competitors, we fight every day for our clients and getting them the vehicles that they need. But I think that's going to continue to be a challenge for our industry, for the auto industry, for the OEMs for the foreseeable future.
Okay, great. Hey, Brendan, last question, really serious question. Is there going to be any consolidation of the luxury boxes at the Pats games and the Celtics games?
Well, the Celtics, I got to tell you, I was a little disappointed they didn't pull it out this year. Yeah. I think Jason Tatum hopefully is working on his fourth quarter game in the offseason. He was great in the first 3 quarters, but kind of mailed it in the fourth quarter. Patriots, it's going to be an interesting season for them. We love our suite there. We love the Patriots partnership. And thanks for giving my home sports teams a little plug there.
There you go. Yeah. Well, we're all ready to, sit in on those luxury boxes too. But hey, Brendan, thanks a lot. Big news. Thanks for sitting down with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.